What's going on, you guys? I'm back with another video. This is Jacquay and J.DAREL Preacher Boy TV, and just wanted to come in and touch bases with you guys in regards to all of this Oscar talk. Like, I am for once, I'm kind of glad that you guys have opinions about the Oscars and then the snubs and then the nominations coming out. So I'm glad you guys are jumping on the bandwagon and actually realizing that you need to get your behind up and get it together and get some good content. And I'm just gonna share my views on the whole situation with the Janet Hubert and then the Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm glad that everybody has recognized that. I mean, we have so many great actors, so many people of color who has amazing God-given straight talent, and it's not been recognized. Okay, what my question is, what is the difference between the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys, then B.E.T, the NAACP, or the Soul Train Awards? They're all awards. They're recognitions. You're being honored and you're being represented. Now we'll tell you the difference. You got some who there's just the generated population of Caucasian, and then you got blacks. But in general, it's an award recognizing your recognitions. Whether it's music, whether it's movies, whether you're actor, actress, dancer, whatever it is. I mean, it's no different from the Latin Grammys or the Hispanic Grammys or anything. It's basically an award you're being recognized for. But let me get down to the distinction. The reason why people are so bent out of shape of an Oscar or receiving a Tony or Emmy is because of the recognition of the valid standpoint that it is. Versus to saying that, hey, I have a Tony, I have an Emmy, I have an Oscar. That means your standards are up here. That means your caliber, your study is up here. But I do see that we have a lot of African Americans who have studied their art more than the Caucasian. But because it's a BET award, you bypass it. Now let's get down to the distinction of it. Now you're bent out of shape of an Oscar and an Emmy, but you can't even get to the BET awards. You can't show up to your own awards, nor will you sit in the NAACP award. I'm not putting Beyonce out there, but you have people like Beyonce who will send a VHS tape or a DVD of her tour in Rome or somewhere, versus she's showing up to the Oscars. And if she's nominated for the Oscars, she would show up there with her pretty white gown or some revealing stuff in her Jay-Z dress and the top designers, but would not show up to the BET Awards. They were sending a tape or a DVD or something of her live. So, and that's just a representation. This is not about Beyonce. We're not even putting it, but that's just an example that our people will not show up to their own awards, but will break their neck to go to the Oscars and get mad because their talent is not being recognized. You want to know basically the answer to that? The only reason why is because the Oscars is put up here and BET Awards and things like that is put down here. Make your awards, make your work count. The BET Awards is just like the Oscars. To have a BET Award I will be proud to have a BET Award. I'm being honored by my own people. So let's get the BET Awards to the recognition of the Oscars. They mean show up, they mean recognize, and they mean support your own artists. Look at the Oscars. I bet you wouldn't go to the Oscars in a t-shirt, 345 chains with your hair all over your head and your pants sagging like Lil Wayne. But if you were nominated for the Oscars, baby, you have on the top designer tux and the bow ties and the hair and dress. If you had dress, it would be in the nicest ponytail or the bun, and you will be sitting up there with the Tonys and the Emmys and the Oscars. But when you come to your own situation, you're late. You're sending VHS tapes, and your pants is sagging. Let's step our game up. You're mad about an Oscars, but you won't show up to your own NAACP or Centric or Soul Train Awards. You looking ghetto. Get your gowns, get your bow ties, get your top designer glasses, and show up and make the BET Awards like the Oscars. Make the people mad that they would make them mad that they weren't nominated for a BET Awards. That's my situation. I mean, I understand what it is. I mean, the only reason why the Oscars is the Oscars is because the Caucasians, okay, especially hold on, let's get to the point of what you expect when the 94% of the panel who nominates these movies, videos, etc. is 94% Caucasian. But you have a panel who's 94% African American who honors all races. But you cannot show up for that awards, but you're breaking your neck for something that you're not nominated for. I mean, Oprah was a great actress, and she still hasn't been either have not been nominated or haven't won. Color Purple have not won. I mean, it's a lot of African American extent talent out here, but you're fighting for something, validation of something you don't need to fight for because you have your own awards. If you want to world show who's going to be at the status of the Oscars, treat it like they awards. They're on time, they're broadcasting, and they dress up. Go to the Oscars and see all the nice tucks and the nice gowns, and go to the BET Awards and see how ghetto and trashy it is. I mean, Deborah Lee, stepping her game up slightly with the stage presence and as well as the nominees, as well as even changing the venue. But what do you expect? They need to put in a dress code or don't show up to the awards. I mean, when the awards first came out, when Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer was hosting, and back in 2000, we had the gowns and everything. But now it's just a hot ghetto trash mess. And even if you get to the point where you're at Beyonce status and she don't want to show up to her own people's awards, that should tell you something. So at the end of the day, the distinction between an Oscar and the BET Awards is the same thing, but it's the way you treat it. It's the way it's being treated and honored. So get your ass up, get your step your game up, and treat your awards. If you want an Oscar, you want to get to the Oscar status, create it. Create your pathway. African Americans came in this world creating their own pathway. Keep creating it. Get to the point. Get your gowns. Get your tux, and let's get it. Let's get it. And that's my take on it. Check out www.preachboy.com and www.theelementsblog.com. I'll get contact back up there. And thank you for your support. And thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. And that's my take on the Oscars.